Alright everyone, I am here with the card reveal for the weekly oracle card for this week of May 20th through May 26th, specifically channeling the collective energies of the full moon in Sagittarius that we have on May 23rd. So whether or not you participated in the poll on my community page, this reading will still apply. I just like to do those to get people's attention so you can kind of think about it before the video comes out. But if you haven't done that, then feel free to choose between card 1, card 2, or card 3 to see which energy you resonate with the most at this time. Or you're welcome, of course, to listen to the full video to get the full spectrum of the collective energies that are most prominent under this Sagittarius full moon. So let's get started. So card number 1 is Oath, and number 22 in the deck, and the words underneath are promise, pledge, and contract. And I paired this card with the silver ring here. And I will just say too that I choose these items randomly. I don't really put any thought into it. It just intuitively feels like what goes best with the card, and it ends up having a similar meaning to the card every time I do it. So this card, I will just say first too that this silver ring is made from a shell of a bullet. So it is very strong. It's over 70 years old, and it has never rusted or anything, in good shape. So if you've chosen card number 1 here, my intuitive thoughts about this card are that it has a lot to do with finalizing or forming new bonds or commitments, whether it's in a relationship, like a marriage, a new romantic relationship, a new friendship, or perhaps a job, or even a pledge to self about something that is self-improvement related. And I will say it is interesting too that at the beginning of this week, I was at a wedding on May 20th. So when I picked this card first, it was interesting because obviously this is also the card of marriage. So you yourself or might be getting married, or you may know someone who is getting married right now. There may be changes in family, or you may be starting a new job, in pledging yourself to work for a new job or signing a contract with a new job. And this bond, whatever bond is being formed, is strong, and it is long lasting, just like the strength of this bullet shell ring. And as I said, it could be a pledge to self or to others, whether it's more self-care, more discipline, or taking more risks with yourself. And this is also symbolic of stepping into a new reality. This promise or this contract that we are forming is a new chapter in our lives. Whether it's a job or whatever the case may be, we are finally entering into this new chapter. I will also say that this full moon is the flower moon, and it is the last full moon of spring. So in a sense, we, like spring, are in full bloom, taking on this new journey in our lives. And it is the promise of a better future, or a bright future ahead, so whatever forms, whatever contracts or promises we are making at this time are for the better. It is time to move forward into your true power. So now I will read from the guidebook of this card. So the guidebook for card 22, Oath. It is the fairy bride, and it says, an oath is a sacred bond that we make. It is more than a promise. It is the bond of a soul contract through the spoken word. And thus we must be cautious when we offer our word and think through what it is we mean when we give it. It is impossible to ever know what another thinks we mean when we give our word. So when this card comes, there is a slight undertone of warning that another person may take your word and twist it to mean they have your loyalty forever, regardless of circumstance, behavior, or treatment. An oath is made between equals, and an oath can be broken by both parties and by circumstance. You may now be considering a partnership or a contractual agreement. It is almost impossible to know how to ensure that this is a good thing, because the truth is, within every contract there is much that cannot be comprehended, even when it is read. If this is the case, ask the other party in the contract to explain what is meant by clauses you do not understand, and ask them to offer examples so you can best understand the paper oath you are taking. In some cases, it may be a handshake you are sealing an agreement with. Whatever its form, consider the weight that comes with the feeling of making this contract. Consider the future and the karmic load the agreement brings to you, along with its immediate benefits. It is the truth that when considering our word, we must understand as fully as we can what we have agreed to. Be sure to do this now. So this, again, is card number 1 in the Fairy Oracle deck of the full moon of Sagittarius. So now moving on to card number 2. Card number 2 is 36 in the deck, the Yule Singer, Rebirth, Feasting, and Joy. And it was paired with this sort of Celtic-looking ring here. It's upside down. I will say, too, that on the back of this ring, it says, "May the road always lead where you need to be." So, this card, I would say, indicates sort of a plentiful rebirth, symbolic to spring as well. You know, being in full bloom again and finally out with the old and with the new, stepping into this new version of ourselves that is most aligned with our true power. We are seeing the results of our efforts at this time and celebrating. You know, a lot happens in May, whether it's graduations or traveling to see family. Maybe we are reunited with old friends, or family we haven't seen in a long time. It is the end of something that we have been working on and a joyful feasting and rebirth of the new us. So we are learning from our past mistakes, hopefully, and coming out on top of them. And there's also new freedoms and a deeper knowledge of self through the trials that we have faced previously. We are stronger in our own self-knowledge, and this allows us to move forward with confidence and indeed take the road that leads us where we need to be. So now I will read from the guidebook of this second card. So the Yule Singer. There are times in life when our light dims so that it may seem to go out for all eternity. But when this time comes, you are being put to a great test. If you persevere at this time, you will experience a depth of life experience that will lead to you being reshaped, transformed, and in many ways changed. You are undergoing such an experience at present, and this card is here to share with you that at such a time of great darkness and suffering, a new light will shine and bring you back to life, a kind of reincarnation within the same life you are now experiencing. When this takes place, the Yule Singer will come to you and sing to you the song of your deepest self. You will open up with this song and begin to live again. The pain will dissolve slowly, and surely you will enter into a time of joy and light, while the flame of your spirit rises high once again within your soul. Expect new friendships, easy connections, fortunate moments, and growth when this beautiful card comes to you. The dark times are done with for now. You are stronger, brighter, and beginning once again a bright new cycle. Sing your song. And the artwork of this card is Noel. So this is card number 2 for those that picked this card. And card number 3 is the Elf Queen, number 13 in the deck. The keywords are introverted, burden, and responsibility. And I paired this card with Desert Rose. So I will just take a moment to explain what Desert Rose means, or what its spiritual properties. The core themes of this stone are perseverance, reconnection, and confidence. Regaining strength in challenging times. It also unveils our true potential and reminds us that we are so much more than the pain that we are feeling at this time. In addition, this stone allows for protection and guidance from guardian angels, so it is important to go inward and listen to our spirit guides and ancestors through meditation and other forms of introspection. So now, this card, I took it to mean to stay connected to who you are in the face of burdens. Because burdens and responsibility come in waves. And maybe these are seemingly negative on the outside, but will ultimately result in something positive. We are approaching this new phase of life in a new level of responsibility that is more aligned with who we are, with the growth that we have done. We are being put to the test and seeing how we will show up to these maybe old situations in a new light. Approaching things with a new level of responsibility. So perhaps some old places, old people, or situations might come up that are calling you to show up in a new light, to handle it differently, to not lower your vibration back to what it once may have been with this person or in this situation. Think before you act. Tune into self during any challenges and know that you have grown. Find your inner confidence and self-love through this introspection. You are strong enough to face these challenges. So now I will read from the guidebook what this card has to say. So the Elf Queen. You have responsibilities that have accumulated to the point that you no longer feel free. You have dimmed your own bright light, and the world longs for you to shine once again. One by one, I ask you to take these burdens, anything that feels heavy, whose energy does not come from love but from fear, any demands and expectations that no longer meet your needs, and release them with love. There is no rejection in this gesture. It is simply time to reestablish your own personal boundaries. You may even be carrying burdens that rightly belong to other people. Please release these now. Without this clearing, you may well feel you are carrying too much on your own shoulders and are unable to see the path ahead of you. As you release, the beginnings of the sweet and tender freedoms that are your birthright will make themselves known to you. You are now free to love and care for others more effectively, as you will be acting out of love, not forcing yourself. If you clearly ask for support, other people will love you and support you in all that you do. And this card, the art of this card is the Elf Queen. So thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope something resonated with you, whether it was a specific card or all three of them. These are the collective energies for this week of the full moon in Sagittarius of May 23rd, 2024. I personally can relate to some of these themes, so I hope that you can too. Let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for more oracle card readings in the future. Maybe at some point I plan to expand on them, do more than one card, but for now, we'll just stick with these 3 card readings. So thank you guys. Everyone stay safe, stay kind, stay curious, and until next time, peace.